Nobel Prize laureates call for Cameroon ceasefire. A group of Nobel Prize laureates has urged the government of Cameroon to cease fighting and let health workers tackle the coronavirus pandemic. The Global Campaign for Peace and Justice in Cameroon on Monday asks the African Union, the Commonwealth, La Francophone to urge the government of Cameroon to call for a COVID-19 ceasefire. The Commonwealth, La Francophone, these two institutions are the ones that caused this issue between Southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon, or Southern Cameroon and East Cameroon. Because during the period when everybody was getting independence from their colonizers, these two institutions, France and Britain or United Kingdom, did not allow Southern Cameroon to gain her independence. Now, these two institutions, with the African Union, have to be involved with this issue that started not only in 2016, but in 1961 or so, when everybody else was getting independence. They decided to refuse Southern Cameroon to gain independence. They asked Southern Cameroonians to join Nigeria or La République du Cameroon. Like joining La République du Cameroon, which seemed to be the lesser evil compared to both. Our issue, our problem started from there. And we Southern Cameroonians have done everything possible to resolve this issue without bloodshed. But for over 50-something years, it only proved to us that the only way forward is bloodshed, is arming ourselves to the teeth and fighting our way through to gain our independence. So calling for ceasefire in the name of COVID-19, which has only killed 303 people in Cameroon. But the war of independence in Southern Cameroon and Bazonia to La République du Cameroon has killed, according to DW.com, 3,000. But other sources says it's above 3,000. They say it's at least 16 to 18,000. But before this war will be over, more than 500,000 or up to 1 million people will be killed. As of now, it could range between 20,000 to 500,000 people who have been killed. But because there's no way to account of all the death, some people call it 3,000 according to DW.com, and some people call it 16,000. But anyway, the fact is, the amount of people who have been killed in the war for independence in Southern Cameroon is more than 303 people. It's more than 12,000 people who have been affected. Yet, for some magical reason, for some mysterious reason, a group of Nobel Prize laureates are calling for ceasefire because of COVID-19 in Cameroon that has affected 12,000 people and killed 303 people. Meanwhile, according to DW.com, more up to 3,000 people have been killed. So if you want to compare 3,000 people based on their own statement, you want to compare 3,000 people to 303 people, which one is better to use to cease fire? 303 people being killed by COVID-19, or 3,000 people to 16,000 people that has been killed by the war declared by the Cameroon, by the war declared by President Paul Biya? Which one is better? Is it not better for the international community to intervene and see that justice is carried in this war of independence of Southern Cameroon versus La République du Cameroon? Our people have been suffering and dying for more than 50 years because of the mistakes of Britain and France. But they don't want to admit to their mistakes. They just want to push it over and cover it and pretend like see if they did not make a mistake. Something that they did has affected the lives of people in Southern Cameroon. They don't want to admit that. But just want to say, oh, let's cease fire because of COVID-19. That has killed 303 people. And supposedly more people are going to die. But more people are dying daily because of the war that was declared by President Paul Biya. So it is better, it is wiser, it is more intelligent to solve the problems, the issue between Southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon, rather than to cease fire for 303 people who have been killed because of the COVID-19. The amount of people who have died inside Southern Cameroon because of the revolution is more than the 303. So that reason to use the COVID-19 as a ploy to cease fire does not make sense to me. And I'm quite sure it doesn't make sense to many Southern Cameroonians. In other words, this war continues. Southern Cameroonians must gain her independence completely, because there is an injustice that has happened for more than 50 years, and this injustice must be corrected. It is proven beyond doubt that the people of Southern Cameroon cannot stay connected or united with the people of La République du Cameroon, with French Cameroonians, with anything known as French. Because as you know, the people who actually benefit from this war is still France. They still benefit from it. And they don't give a damn. Because black lives are the ones that are being killed. And that is shameful, because the African Union does not give a damn. But the African Union has the audacity to speak about the George Floyd case, neglecting the killing of many black people inside Africa, vis-a-vis Southern Cameroon and many other parts of Africa that has war going on. The African Union is incompetent to handle the situation. The African Union does not know its head from its tail. So how can they intervene in the war that is going on between La République du Cameroon and Southern Cameroon? Why should La Francophonie or the Commonwealth intervene with what is happening in Southern Cameroon? Meanwhile, they are responsible for what happened, because they did not properly decolonize southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon. Because when we were supposed to have a discussion with French Cameroon about the unification of Southern Cameroon or West Cameroon with La République du Cameroon, Britain never showed, and French Cameroon took over with military and connected Southern Cameroon by force. There was never a legal documentation between Southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon. So you cannot use this excuse of 303 people dying or dead from COVID-19, or that because there's COVID-19 and it is in the highest amount inside Cameroon, with 12,000 people having or possibly having COVID-19. You can't use that to cease fire. The root issue between Southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon must be discussed and finalized to the conclusion of independence for Southern Cameroon and Amazonia versus La République du Cameroon, without which there is no ceasefire. The war continues. We will fight till there's nobody to fight in Southern Cameroon, or to the point that we gain our independence from La République du Cameroon, because we have the determination to live like free people without infringement of our rights. So your ceasefire is bullshit. It's nonsense. It doesn't make sense. As a matter of fact, if you're not talking of way to iron out the issue, don't send your people to come and kill people with COVID-19. Because before COVID-19 started, we already had a way to isolate ourselves through lockdowns. Every Monday is a lockdown. The whole Southern Cameroon is shut down. That has been going on for the past 3 years. But right now, the whole world is locked down because of COVID-19. So we know how to distance ourselves. And we've been doing it. And we will continue to do it until we gain our independence. Until the world recognizes that Southern Cameroon is an independent nation from La République du Cameroon and will not tolerate such dehumanization by other black people. The world dehumanizes black people. Black people themselves dehumanize black people. It's madness. And the world sits and watches and does nothing about it. But they want to talk about COVID-19 in Cameroon, where 303 people have died. Meanwhile, inside Southern Cameroon, I said, more than 20,000 people have died and climbing. At the end of this war, it could be up to 1 million people who will be killed. Why? Because the international community with the weak African Union, which is being controlled by the international community, cannot do anything about it. So Southern Cameroon military and leadership must defend Southern Cameroon until we gain our independence. We are free people and must live freely. And nothing is going to stop that. not the international community, not the Republic of Cameroon, not African Union, not the Commonwealth, not la Francophonie, will stop the independence of Southern Cameroon. We must gain our independence. COVID-19 or not. We must. We don't give a damn about the Nobel Prize laureates who want to claim to speak for us when they don't understand our issue or care to understand why we decided to take arms to fight against the forces of La République du Cameroon who declared war on us, who decided to kill Southern Cameroonians. As a matter of fact, one Dr. Simon Adams said that it is one of the great neglected conflicts of our time. The war in Southern Cameroon is one of the greatest neglected conflicts of our time. Neglected by who? By the international community, by the Commonwealth, by Francophonie, by the African Union. Neglected. So since they have neglected us, Southern Cameroon has no other hope but to create their own hope through the war that was declared by La République Cameroon. So the war must continue henceforth until we see independence. And if you want to do anything about it, Nobel Prize laureates, then look into the issue that has been going on since 1961. Look into that issue and then bring the right leadership to end this war and make sure Southern Cameroon is recognized as an independent state from La République du Cameroon, and that the people inside Southern Cameroon have the right to freedom, sovereignty, and life. This is King Angel. I'm out.